thing
because
over
I'm
your
a mouth
face.
breather. So,
Okay.
So yeah,
Because I'm a mouth breather.
I'm a mouth breather, man.
But man, I be fighting for my life in my sleep. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
my body be like, we gonna keep this bitch alive no matter what. Because what I was literally, it was that, and then blowing out was like, was it like that? I can't remember.
No, it was like,
Yeah, that's it.
it wasn't quite that
And it
intense on the
wasn't-
out.
And it wasn't even it was rhythmic, and then it would get unrhythmic. It was like, then I'd breathe twice, and then, but it wasn't
But
apnea.
you would- yeah,
It's
you
never
wouldn't, like,
stopped breathing.
stop.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. It was so weird.
It was just,
I was fascinated
I
by
wouldn't
it.
even say it was jagged. It was just not.
It just wasn't like 1, 2, 3,
Right,
1, 2,
right.
3. It was like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3,
Right.
1, 2.
Not always on the downbeat.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I was like, God.
I don't know that any human does that, though. I don't know that we have
Sleep rhythmically?
Yeah, I don't know. Do you? I don't.
I mean, I just discovered how I sounded just the other day.
It's like, I don't know that I.
Like the in, out, in, out, in, out.
I know I wake up a lot at night.
Do you?
So maybe not.
Does it have to do with breathing, though?
I don't know what it has to do with.
Really?
You know,
But it's
There's
not,
a lot going
but you're
on
not
up here.
waking up and going,
oh, no.
Oh,
no.
okay.
I'm just waking up and just like, fuck, it's 2:00.
once or twice I might have done that, but that's because I'm sleeping on my back and my head is normally tilted back.
If I sleep on my back, I will snore.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna say, but that was so weird to me. And I think that maybe I might have turned over to my side, because the first night I recorded me sleeping on my back and I was like, of course you're gonna snore. That's a given.
Right.
So the next night I recorded myself sleeping on my side. That's when I cricked my neck. My body's like, we were struggling to keep you alive. That's why we fucked your neck up, girl.
It's like, and you gonna fuck around and record us? All right, I got something for you. This unappreciative bitch.
Speaking of which, thank you so much for the suggestion about that goddamn acetaminophen. Because, girl,
Is it working?
Yes, I feel
good.
so much better.
Good.
I mean, I can still feel like a dull ache, but not like it was before. What a pain in the ass, literally, or shoulder. Anywho, literally. All right, y'all hoes ready?
Us hoes is ready.
Ready.
All right, here we go. Are you gonna laugh at me if I try to breathe in and breathe out? You know what?
I make no promises.
Y'all come in with me. Okay, we're gonna breathe in and breathe out on 3. 1, 2, 3. see. Now I was getting ready to come in with the joviality and energy.
I'm glad she did it, because I was gonna do something.
Y'all are so fucking messy. Hello and welcome back to Multiple Gab Wounds. I am your host, Tony.
I'm Angie.
I'm Andi.
And again, welcome back to Multiple Gab Wounds. Today, we are...
And also, we're multiple gab ones.
Yeah, not meltable.
We are.
Gab
Did I
wounds.
say we were meltable?
You did say
I
we
am
were
meltable, baby. I'm
I-
like hot chocolate, baby. I'm melting your mouth.
That's
and
what I've
in
heard.
your hands.
That's what I heard.
That's what you're gonna get. Some of this chocolate loving.
Meltable gab wounds.
Bitches, don't be making fun of me.
It's kind of what we do on this
I
show.
know. I know. It's all love because I love you too. I know. If you didn't make fun of me, it wouldn't be loving me.
Yeah,
It's
sure.
like abuse.
I know. We're Gen X. That's what we grew up with. It's like, yeah, we traumatize you because we love you.
Oh my God. Ugh. Anywho. So, yeah, it's only been 20 minutes since the last time that we talked to y'all niggas.
Yeah, we've given up the ruse.
Yeah.
Trying to like, oh yeah. So last week,
Yeah, we tried it. We tried it.
Behind the magic.
Listen, we're too old for all that. We can't be
We don't
keeping up
have
with all them
time.
lies.
We
and
don't
shit.
have time, and we want to do things every other week. So we don't want to
Exactly.
I mean, we do want to come in here and be with you guys and record, and and it's fun for us to do this. And while it still remains fun, we want to do it. Again, we're still with the new setup. I was thinking that so. Like I might have told y'all on the last show last week that I got a new phone and I'm like an old lady with that shit. I feel like there's a filter on this phone so we don't have to put on makeup. I feel that there's like a glam filter where we can come in here looking rough and busted and we turn on the filter and suddenly we are Christy Brinkley.
Necessarily know that that's the case, but I have to say, just looking at this lighting,
the lighting is helping.
I'm kind of digging it.
Oh, okay, because I can't see myself. Look, excuse me, Andy. Let me look. Nope, looks like bags under that eyeball, girl.
No, I didn't say it was great, but
because what we're not.
I'm digging what it's doing to my skin.
Is it okay? Because the skin is okay, but I'm saying it's okay. I'm greasy, but I don't mind because I moisturize, and so I'll be out here.
I am sitting here literally with no top teeth. I don't give a fuck.
Oh, you do? That's true, but I don't think anybody now. She opens her mouth to show you, and I'm gonna make sure that gets pasted into our video.
We are
that gets pasted right in there.
We're officially fucking around and finding out.
Yeah, literally.
Because I am too goddamn old to keep up these kind of lies.
But
it's just like, look, here's what's going on.
The lies are more work to keep up with than the actual technology that we're trying to learn.
Yes, it is.
So y'all niggas is gonna get from the rooter to the tutor. Because we not out here bullshitting.
Right.
We believe in movie magic, but we also believe in watching the magic get made.
And we will change names to protect the innocent.
We'll blurt them out. We'll beep them out because I'm not good for changing names.
See the look I did at the camera? It's like the innocent. We don't know nobody.
I was gonna say, I'm not, because I don't remember to blurt out to bleep out their names. It's not until I'm listening that I'm like, oh shit, I should probably beep that out. So, ladies, how was your week?
Can I just talk about what I've got?
Yes.
Okay. Because recently, I don't know what's happening here, guys.
We are
hilarious.
really on.
Oh, look.
What is this?
Read
Is
it.
this Instagram
It's
POV?
pointed when I cross one thing off my to-do list and check out for the day. I thought y'all could relate to that, so I saved it.
Yes.
Now, what I wanted to talk about briefly.
Oh, it's Reddit. You still have to teach me how to do Reddit.
I will.
Okay.
No, so they had Coachella and the debacle of Frank Ocean. I'm not going to go into all that madness of Frank Ocean and set stuff, and he got fined for curfew stuff, and he just all this kind of crap. Okay, he allegedly hurt his leg on the fairgrounds, and so that's why he.
So no, talk about it for a second, because most of us might not have heard about, and I heard partially about it. Okay, my little
I heard
stomach,
something happened, but I didn't know any details.
Yeah.
Okay, so he was headlining, and there was issues. These are bits and pieces of what I've read in different places. That he had like an ice pad that was set up, and then he changed his mind.
Oh, yeah, an ice rink. They set up a whole ice rink, and then halfway through he said, "No, I'm not going to do
that." So he was late and all this kind of stuff. Okay, so reason why I'm addressing this, just mentioning him, is because he's a big name. A lot of people really like Frank Ocean. I don't listen to him, but I know a lot of people do. And a lot of people were really disappointed that he didn't, he canceled out, and they've had to have other people step in and headline. So anyway, I wanted to read what Sean Stockman posted because
Visions of Sunset.
Because he did not name any names, but this is amazing what he posted. He said, "I've been in the music business for 30 years. I've performed in some of the worst conditions a person can ever perform in. I've gone on stage after a hernia operation. I attempted to sing with practically no voice, forgot lyrics on national TV, awful PA systems, etc. I've also seen some of my peers go through even worse. Dave Grohl broke his leg.
Yes, he did.
After they put his leg in a cast, he continued
went right
to perform.
back. Yep.
Wow.
James Hetfield performed after he suffered from burns from being too close to a pyro explosion.
That is correct.
And Prince performed at the Super Bowl during the pouring rain.
Yes, he did. Yep.
And he says, I'm blessed to say I still perform today and still sometimes under unfavorable conditions. It's hard for me to hear a performer cancel a show with thousands of people who patiently waited for this person for years because of a sprained ankle. Artists today are built different. And I had to share that because preach.
Right.
It's amazing because again, this goes back to when Angie and I went to the Boys to Men concert.
Yep.
That's exactly where I was going with
And there was only two of them. Only Wanya and Sean could perform because he was sick, and they put on a fantastic show.
Absolutely.
It was an amazing show.
Yep.
And
Sean and Wanya did that.
yes. And, it takes a true artist to be able to carry something like that when you're so used to hearing, the multiple voices. You only have these two, and they sound just like the recording. It's fucking amazing.
And they they really did make sure that we got our money's worth.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I wanted to bring that up because, they're talking about today's artists are built different. And I think that's really true because we have such a history with our Gen X people and just pulling out all the stops no matter what the hell happened. Because I can say, even though I have a deep love for Donald Glover, when I went to his Dallas concert, he hurt his leg and could not finish the concert. So
that's right, because he fell off the stage or something?
He when he was dancing because, he goes off.
Fucked up.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
so he hurt his, I think he broke it.
Yeah.
His ankle. And, at first no one knew what was happening. And so, I don't hold any ill will towards him for that. I was able to finally see the rest of the show at another location. But, it just goes to show that we expect just certain things from people, whether it's day to day, a celebrity, whatever. And some people are just built different and can't carry through for whatever reason. And Sean just put that so succinctly. And so he was so classy with it.
Yeah.
I wanted to share that.
So,
that's just,
well, let me ask you this though, and not playing the devil's advocate because I believe he has way too many advocates in his corner right already. But to a degree though, is it healthy to do that no matter what the cost? You understand what I'm saying? So like Dave Grohl, if he'd, and I remember that I wasn't there or anything. My God, I would have. Oh, that was
I know,
because
right?
I know because I just love me some Foo Fighters. But if he'd have broken his leg and was like, "Yo, I'm out," I would have 1,000,000% understood that and been like, "Nigga, if you don't go to the hospital," you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or yes, if it starts raining, that's a hazard.
Yes, it
you
is.
understand what I'm saying? That
yeah.
can get you killed. Let something get exposed,
Right.
and the show's over for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to assume that they know that, though, and they might know something we don't because we're not performers.
See, that's the thing, though. They don't. I promise you, they don't know something that we don't. I promise you, they do not. It wasn't say shit be stuck together with duct tape and extension cords, just like everything else. Granted, they are heavy duty and all of that other stuff, and they probably have the ones with the clasps over them, and all of this, that, and the other. However, something somewhere ain't 100% all the time, and I understand that. So, point being, though, is it healthy for them to do that? Because like you said, yes, it does show. I would be grateful. I would. I'd be like, oh my God, he sprained his ankle and then he came back. That is awesome. Now don't get it twisted. A sprained ankle is a fucking sprained ankle. Get over it. You better get on some crutches and get back out there.
Sit
and
on
be
a
like,
fucking chair.
Sit on a chair.
Exactly
you
what I
don't
was
dance
thinking.
anyway. You're not a dancer. Beyonce did it. Beyonce broke a whole foot during
Did she really?
during Black is King.
Oh, okay.
She broke a whole foot.
Wow.
Bandaged that shit up and kept on moving. She was
Wow.
like, no more dancing, but what we are going to do is like all kinds of bright, beautiful, fluffy things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So point being though, consummate professional. But is she expected to, but must the show actually go on?
it doesn't always, and I think it depends on the circumstances.
That's what I was thinking.
And I think different people react to things differently, and I think it's a matter of what you can mentally and physically handle.
Exactly.
And I think so. It's a case by case basis. In this instance, a sprained ankle No,
is not the instance.
No,
Exactly.
no, absolutely not.
Because
absolutely
there's
not.
ways to work around that. And I also think if it's something serious enough, they could reschedule it. Or, you know, I don't know what the cost would be, you know, or how much trouble it would be. And I wonder if maybe in some of these that it's just easier to go back out on stage than it is to cancel it and try to reschedule.
Oh,
for all
because
the
it's a pain
ticket
in the
holders.
ass. Because
Yeah.
let's put it like this: I know Janet Jackson. When I got tickets to go see her, she came up pregnant,
Right.
And I was like, "Fine time to get knocked up, Janet." But
But she was so happy.
she
loved
was,
that baby.
and I was grateful that she had that baby.
Yeah.
That I understand, and
Right.
more so than that, the fact that she had tried to have babies before and kept having miscarriage after miscarriage after miscarriage, and was finally like, "Y'all, I got a viable pregnancy. I got to go
Exactly.
lay up in this bed." I was like, "Bitch, go lay down somewhere. Don't jump on some stage
Right.
messing around, fucking around with us."
She was
because you
50.
Yeah, 50.
And I was like, yes, ma'am,
More power
stay
to
in the
you,
bed.
right? Make sure that baby cooked all the way through.
Yes.
So that I understand. What was the other one that? Kid Fury, the Reed. He is saying, "Yo, y'all know," and he already has a history. He's already like, "Look, I have got to take care of myself." And we, as people who deal with mental illness and all of that other type of stuff, we understand that.
Absolutely.
So we get it.
That made us happy, actually.
Right. And
Please.
right. And we're not sad about it because we understand that we want you to take this time because we want you to stay with us. It's selfishness on our part by every stretch of the imagination.
We want you here.
Right. By every stretch of the imagination, I do not want the circus to stop. So if therefore you need to, and you've been doing this for 10 years straight, nigga, stop playing with me. Go ahead and take all the time that you need.
Absolutely.
And I'll be here when you get back.
Right.
You know, I feel good about that, and those types of things I absolutely understand. But you're right, a spranked ankle, nigga, spranked, a spranked ankle.
I turned ankle.
I turned it. Everything stops. You stop playing. You stop. Turn that music off. Everybody go home. I'm not gonna lie. That'd probably be me.
Be like, I can't. So,
Everybody go.
I mean, I feel like if they felt like they couldn't perform to a quality that the audience deserves, then but a sprained fucking ankle. And also we got to think about the logistics of rescheduling, and especially if it's a multiple bands or performers. And because I watched the train wreck that was the SWV and Escape stuff, and them trying to schedule things, and
what happened there?
They were trying to compete. They were going head to head because it's like, well, who has the most sales or the most? They were trying to figure out who's going to headline.
Was niggas being niggas? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, or divas being divas.
Well, yeah.
See, that's why they all look like mutants. 'Cause
Oh my God.
it's the truth, though. Have you seen?
I mean, I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying I didn't expect it.
So they've got a new show. Or they had it. I don't, and I'll be honest with you because I don't follow any of those. I mean, absolutely no reality shows whatsoever do I
watch
follow.
them all.
I don't. So do you watch this one with Tiny and?
I do not watch anything with Tiny and T.I. or any of their family. Yeah, I
any of the SWV stuff. Or
I watched the SWV and Escape tour because it was all about them coming together to have this tour for one night. And the logistics and okay, who's going to come out on stage? Okay, so when they leave, how are we going to be standing? It kind of gives you an insight to what goes into figuring out what's going to happen at a concert.
So they were just being messy boots,
and they were being messy because it was well, who's got the biggest following right now? Well, Tiny and Candy are both on reality TV, so they thought, well, we're the ones that could bring in the most tickets, but SWV.
I'm sorry. There's a mic stand under the table, and I'm sorry. I'm just getting it out of the way. Sorry.
Sorry,
because I'm sitting up there. I'm like, who is fucking with something?
I accidentally kicked it, and I was like, "Oh shit, that's gonna be a problem." Let me get that out of the way
because her ADHD won't let her just leave it.
No, it won't. I'm sorry.
I know.
It won't.
And I 1,000,000% understand that. Although I don't have ADHD, I would not be able to let it sit there either.
Okay. Sure.
What were you saying, Andy?
Just because you don't need medication doesn't mean you don't have it, but fine.
So basically, it was about them trying to coordinate this one concert, and SWV has the most sales. They're talking about, well, whose song's this and that, and which song should we end on? They were fighting about who should headline.
So they were fighting about everything.
Yeah, it was messy. I'll tell you, I do watch a lot of the Housewives shows, so I'm familiar with Atlanta and Candy, but I had a brand new appreciation for SWV after this, because they've all kind of gone through their own thing, and they were just a lot more classy about a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, they escape women. Yeah.
It's they've got their own mess within Escape too, because Latasha and her sister don't get along, and then is Latasha's husband skimming money from gigs. Yeah, it's messy.
And Tiny has her own shit, and
with her raggedy ass husband. We're not even going to say his name.
No.
Say his name.
I wanted so much better from him.
No, thank you.
Anywho, but no, and because I don't watch any of those shows, I'm not up on any of that type of stuff. Everybody else seems to be like, what is the appeal?
I can't get into it because it annoys me.
Yes.
I end up being more annoyed than entertained. And
honestly, I think part of the reason that I have a major issue with them is because people are looking at them and emulating. Oh, what?
Damn.
I mean,
you are at work.
I am paying attention. I am multitasking at this motherfucker.
I just glance over. I'm like, baby list.
Yeah, because Sierra is having a baby.
Okay.
I'm gonna beep that out. I think maybe, I don't know. But point being,
so the allure for me.
Okay, yeah,
the allure for me, because I'm a big true crime addict, and I like finding out what goes on in people's heads.
I do love that shit.
It's kind of the same when it comes to reality TV for me. I am particular about which ones I watch, but it's all trash TV, because I go from 90 Day Fiancé to Sister Wives to
90 Day Fiancé was kind of interesting.
Yeah, and so for me, it's how people work and how they think, because then it makes me realize my life isn't as messy as I thought. Honestly, I like watching the other train wrecks because it puts my life in perspective.
Okay.
And so, just like a podcast, you start to connect with some of these people, and you want to follow their story and see what's going on. I started watching Love is Blind on Netflix, and got my husband asking questions because it was always on. So he's like, well, who ended up together? And are those two married? And so I infect him with my reality TV. So I'm all about it.
And part of I think, like I was saying a minute ago, is that I see a lot of people emulating like the attitudes and the behaviors of some of these people, and I'm like, no,
Please
that is not attractive in any way, shape, or form. But worse still, and this is respectability politics 100,000,000%, and I even hate that I'm about to say what I'm about to say,
but it's not going to stop her.
But I don't want white people thinking that that's how we act. You know what I'm saying? I know. Respectability politics. But I'm going to be super real about how I feel about that. I don't want them watching that shit and being like, see, that's how the niggers act. And I'm like, that's not how we act. Don't do that. It's TV. And TV is way too influential for people to not believe it. We still to this day think that Africa is made of a bunch of fucking huts because of the movies that we watched that had nothing but Africans in rural areas and shit like that, and that we think there's lions and tigers and zebras and shit running all over the place, and that is not what it's like
at all.
And in any way, shape, or form. Oh, I mean, a little bit, but not in the most populated.
There are major cities with major
and major roads and highways and skyscrapers and all of that other sanitation, running water, all that shit. But because television has shaped our thought, I don't want to say thought process, but
view.
Thank you, view. This is really just that simple. And there was no clicks and beeps that I could give you for the word view, but
that's how we communicate now. Clicks and beeps.
Because media, in essence, has shaped our worldview about certain places and certain things, then I don't want people looking at American TV and going, oh, that's how the niggers are there, because that's not how we are at all. As a matter of fact, I maybe not despise because I don't know them well enough to, but I'm like, do not associate with me with them hoes.
So let me bring this up since this kind of ties in.
Okay.
The Love is Blind show that I watch had its finale, and one of the people on it, his name is Marshall. He's light skinned. People saw him as a good guy. Mm-hmm. He didn't really make it to the altar with this girl that he matched up with. The premise of it is you're talking to people through a wall, and you decide within like 9 days whether or not if you found your match and if you're going to get married. Mm-hmm. And then you see what each other looks like. Okay, so that's the premise of Love is Blind.
I sure don't think I would.
So here's what's come up. Old tweets of his. He's like 26 now. These tweets are about 10 years old.
Those old tweets will fuck you up every time.
You said
boy.
He's 26 now, so this is when he was 16.
Exactly.
Oh, good Lord.
So that's why my question. This is where my question's going to come from. So this is Marshall here. Mm-hmm. So like, here's one of his tweets. Yes, I love light skinned girls. I prefer them actually, but I like brown, dark, white, yellow too. Mm-hmm. Then he says, I need a Hispanic female in my life. Lord, please make this happen. Mm-hmm. But the worst one is when he says, a group of sad black girls that sit in a damn circle sharing their stories on why men ain't shit. I'll tell you, black females, why? So all this stuff.
This was when he was 16.
Yeah, these are 10 years old.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So when you talk about influence and what people see, people who are not of color watching TV, you know, a lot of women, rightly so, are getting upset about the colorism that's happening in these tweets.
Yep.
And that's part of the problem now is that people are saying, well, if he can say that,
then why can't I?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So that ties into it. But this is part of the messiness that just because my life is so messed up anyway, that I'm like, oh, look what he just stepped in. Let me follow this out.
Ooh, he got bigger dookie on his shit than me.
And plus, that's what I bring to the table is pop culture.
Yes, you do. And I appreciate it because apparently I really
neither
suck.
one of us, okay, are aware of any of that shit. We like, huh? Well, tell us, Andi, because I don't know what the fuck you talking about, girl.
And I don't even have I don't have a job. I could absolutely catch up on pop culture. I just choose not. What is wrong with me?
It's talking about like things shaping, like, you know, the television and media shaping our views about certain things. I recently had somebody hit me up and ask me what it was about Asian men that he was basically what he said was, I didn't think that black women found us attractive.
That's unfortunate.
And he was like, so what is it about black or about Asian men that, you know, what is it that you like about Asian men? And so I had to really kind of sit down for a second and think about that, because I was thinking my initial, like right off the rip, the first part that I wanted to say was, oh, that lack of masculine toxicity. Thank you. I said, you're not going to sit up there and kill somebody because they gay, or usually, as far as I know, you know what I'm saying, or because they're transgender, or I get it. Not everybody is a monolith, but your culture is different in that way, in that they don't look at it the same way that we do. And I'm tired of that shit when it comes when it comes to men, and the thing, or black men, should I say. Yes. And I'm ridiculously hard on black men because my expectations for black men are a lot bigger, because I expect when it comes to black men that you need to be more unified with. I believe you should be more unified with black women. Absolutely. Don't get it twisted. Go be with who you want to be. But what you cannot do, what you should never do, is put us down.
Right.
Because you want to be with your...
Throw us under the bus.
Thank you, because you want to be with your snow bunny. And the fact is that when it comes to the statistics of the dating pool, and since the OKC study, there have been a ton more studies when it comes to the information on dating sites and who's dating who and who's fucking who and all this, that, and the other. And black women and Asian men are the least chosen. And so therein lay the reason why I really believe that they need to be together. I'm like, Asian men, black women, get together and start blazing out this world and having these babies and, making familial units.
It's up to y'all now. We ain't got no uteruses here.
Right, y'all. I am giving a directive for you niggas to follow. Please fuck each other to death so that we can, eradicate racism. So, but black men are chosen over black women. So white men, of course, are on top. White women are on top. Asian, and then I think after that it's like Latino, and then it's Asian or something like that. But the point being is that Asian women are chosen by all the races. Number one.
Well, you mean chosen or fetishized?
And it's absolutely fetishized by every stretch of the imagination, because of course they're thinking, oh, I'm gonna get me a submissive woman.
Right. They're
Although I know more Asian women that will actually turn your ass out than would be submissive to you.
We are sitting next to one.
Thank you. She's like, I wish a motherfucker would.
Right? You can see it on your face.
As a white presenting person of color who can speak on some of these things, I will say that I will tear that ass up.
And we found our quote for this episode. Yes, we did.
So but black men, for the most part, will choose everybody else before they choose us. And I'm like, wow. So going back to this gentleman here who has the audacity to fix his lips to say, black women love to do that shit. Well, because it's kind of it's almost a reciprocal thing, because y'all say crazy shit about us, and so we're gonna say crazy shit about you, and it is self-perpetuating, and it doesn't ever stop.
Right.
And it's like,
I'm giving him a little bit of a break because he was 16.
That's what I was gonna say. So building upon that, because it was 10 years ago, and I don't know him personally, but on the show he presents as a very emotionally connected, like he had great open talks with another black man about their relationships. So it was really good to see on TV the positive and not the toxicity. And they were talking about their feelings and their emotions and their relationships. So that was really healthy to see. So but I know there are a lot of women who are still angry and holding it against him.
He was a child.
Because, he said it at all. But at what point do we start forgiving people? And we tell them to do better, but when they do better, we're still blaming them for the old shit
that they did forever ago.
Exactly.
And I'd like to say that I would hope that people are not dragging him for some shit he said when he was a fucking child.
They are.
Really?
Yeah, that's why. That's one of the reasons why I brought it up, because he's people are like angry and offended, and I'm not supporting him, and he's this, and
he was a child.
It's like when Kevin Hart went through and had his old tweets, but his tweets were from his 20s. You know what I'm saying?
Still a child.
And he had, still a child, but enough to know better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's when I'm going to start being like, nigga.
Well, he knew better, but that's also when the internet was brand new. We didn't know things would last forever and be out in the universe.
We just be out here posting shit.
Right.
Did we though? Because Twitter, I don't know what I was thinking.
Twinkie
I don't know what I was going to say. But Twitter has been around for a very long time.
Well, I'm sorry. I was going to say, I know when I was 20, I said and did some fucked up shit. Right. Angela and I had to have conversations. Well, we didn't have to, but I apologized for things that I said because they were ignorant based on our situation at the time and a person that was influencing the behavior. I just know that 20 is still young to me. I walk that line. I'm like, okay, at what point do we forgive people, even if they should know better? Something happens to people at some point, and they finally do better.
Right.
We've got to be able to say that's fucked up, but
I can see that
your growth.
Right.
Growth.
I can see that.
That was 20 years ago, and we've sure you've learned since then.
I listened to this podcast called My Favorite Murder. Shout out to them, like they ever listen to. Okay, whatever.
They will.
And so they call being in your 20s the loud and wrong phase. And I was like, that is so fucking it.
It's true.
Because you finally think, I'm grown, I'm 21, I know some shit you don't know.
You don't know
You don't know a goddamn thing. And you just loud about it. It's just, you feel so confident and indestructible in everything that you think and do. So you just loud and wrong all the time. So I kind of consider 20s as part of childhood.
I agree.
You just learn how to walk or learn how to think for yourself. And it's like, oh, honey.
So that having been said, back in, let's say, the 1920s and 30s, was being in your 20s, you were considered an old man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, so do you think that they were more mature back then because they had to be, or
their life expectancy was shorter? So, I mean, I just think that they, in their 20s, they're old. They should have been married when they were 15 or whatever.
Exactly.
Right.
And, but
they were spinsters by that time.
But I don't think, no, I think about, like, I fucking watched Hamilton for the first time long time ago. Mm-hmm. And the first time I saw it, I was like, they were talking about when he was in his teens and he was responsible for this boat. I'm like, holy fuck. I'm looking at my kid thinking I would not want them to be in charge of this boat.
Right.
So maybe they were built different. We're built different than they were back then.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
So maybe you're right. Maybe it was harder then, so they had to grow up faster.
Right. Because Gen Z definitely built different than Gen X.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Gen Z, they're not considered our grandchildren?
No, because my son is Gen Z. I managed to have a millennial and a Gen Z because that's the kind of shit I do.
I mean, you did have them when your older son was what, 15?
Almost 15. Yeah, he was 14.
That's about right.
So they're 14 years apart because,
right on. You had something for us, Angela?
I was watching a TikTok video. Can you believe it?
What? Girl, I don't think you new to TikTok. This is some new stuff. You don't know nothing about that TikTok life, girl. What you know about that?
And there was this woman that was on there, and I like her stuff. She has a lot of safety tips for women. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that she has, or that she tries to tell us, is when is a good time to lie. It's like no one wants to be a liar, but sometimes you have to lie. And one of the examples is like, you meet someone that you're talking to like, at a bar or whatever, and, they'll ask questions like, do you live nearby? Or, you here alone? And she's like, it's okay to lie. To say, like, yeah, my boyfriend and I, or I live with my cousin or whatever.
Right.
Oh, no, I'm not here alone. My cousin is supposed to come in,
right,
whatever.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, that's when you should lie. And there are a lot of other reasons, too. And I agree with that. And I was like, but also, you could also be really just straight up. It's like, why the fuck you asking?
Well, see, and that
kind of
is
what
where
I'm
at
like, why
with
do you
that.
want to?
Because it's not to say that I don't like to lie. But
you keep up with that.
And that's usually the reason I don't tell them is because I can't keep up with them for the most part.
You ain't got to lie.
You ain't got to lie, Craig. Why would you ask me if I live
right? Why do you want to
know? That's, you understand that's some shit a rapist would ask, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. And make it clear. Yeah. That's why I'm not answering you, because
you're being very rapey.
Because your conversation is not appropriate, and it makes me weird.
Yeah.
Now, if I volunteer the information, that's another situation. But even still, you shouldn't necessarily be volunteering that information.
Why should you have to answer at all?
You shouldn't. You don't.
You should just stare at them.
Let's normalize that shit. About. Just not answering questions. Kids do it all the time. You sit up there and ask them a question where it's like, why the fuck did you do that? And they just look at you. Right. That's how we need to start doing people who ask us rapey questions.
All of a sudden their hearing just disappears.
Do you live alone? Huh?
That's what we should do. Is it,
Or turning around and, do you live alone?
Just get confrontational and aggressive.
Why do you? Like, don't be asking me that. But I get that. I don't feel like, I'm trying to remember, have I? And I feel like I'm sure that I've had people who have asked me that. But mind you, it's later on, it's over the internet, and they'll ask me something like that.
Right.
Yes.
And I can say, yes, I do, because I feel comfortable enough, because you don't know where the fuck I'm at.
Right.
Unless you are like some IP, hacker dude or some shit like that.
And in that case, you can roll up in here if you want to.
I would love for you to, as a matter of fact.
Because I got something for your ass.
Been waiting.
For both cheeks.
So I saw on TikTok that someone posted, and it's along those lines, if someone asks for your phone numbers you can give them instead. So I'm wondering, how is that any better? Because like with the first phone number is like the person that gave you this number, like you call and it's a recording basically declining.
Saying, don't be fucking calling me.
And then there's another one's like John Cena saying, you can't see me. And so there's like 4 different phone numbers where you can give them this number. First of all, how am I going to remember another number? Because I can't remember anything. My smartphone remembers all that shit.
Thank you.
Second of all, if you run into them again, that would make me even more angry. Instead of just saying, I don't want to give you my number. Let me give you this. This is for time and temperature.
Give you this or something. Then there used to be a time and temperature number. Is there still one?
I've given it out a couple of times. I don't
even know if there is one anymore.
I could see my mother-in-law calling for the Actually, no, she'd see it on CNN.
What time is it? Hold on, let me make this phone call. Hold on, baby.
Or like movie phone. Give a movie phone number.
There you go. Movie phone. Oh my God. Do we still have movie phone too?
I don't think so.
I really kind of hope not.
Look at Googling right now.
But no, I get the whole point of there are instances where it's safe for you to lie. But in some of those instances, I don't agree that you have to respond at all.
Because I think it would be more aggravating because women, we don't have to worry about getting our feelings hurt. We have to worry about getting murdered.
Exactly.
Because some dude didn't like that we told them no.
I read or listened to somewhere where somebody said exactly that. Mm-hmm. Men worry about rejection, women worry about murder.
Yes.
Absolutely. So it's like we worry about the wrong things regarding each other. Yep. Men worry about rejection from women. That's the worst of their issues. Ours is whole fucking murder,
right?
Which is wild.
And it reminds me of the story that you told, if not a couple of episodes ago, about when we were in South Dallas and we were being grabbed at
at the club.
Yeah, and it wasn't that they were just they were grabbing. They were
like putting their finger all in you,
inserting things.
That is wild.
And it's like that is
you
dangerous.
React violently, then you are the one that dies.
Yes.
Right.
Isn't that wild?
Right. She had a gun pulled on her for saying, and it's, granted, this was back in the 90s, but they ain't better.
No. They're not better. It was back in the 90s, but unfortunately, that still very much happens today.
Yes.
Absolutely. And I'm only now more aware of it because back then thought we were invincible, and we were going to live forever. Never thought that was an issue,
and we thought that was par for the course.
Exactly, we thought that's just how it has to be. If you,
So I really want to teach my daughter that as she starts going out and being more social in her oldies, she's still got some time, but she's my social butterfly, so she'll probably start early. I don't want her to feel like she has to answer a question from a stranger. I don't think it's just like right now we're giving people responsibility and being advocates for their own bodies. They can say no to this, say no to that.
Exactly.
If someone says, do you come here often? Do you live near here? What's your phone number? Walk away.
Exactly.
Or just say, why are you asking me?
Put it back on them.
Right. Absolutely. But I'm trying to think of an instance where lying for safety would be okay. I guess it's something like, if I'm on the phone or if someone is trying to carjack me or something and they're like, who are you on the phone with? I'm like pizza when it's really 911, maybe something like that.
Right.
But there's not many instances where I can think of. I'm sure there are plenty, but I can't think of any where it would warrant a lie to save my life. I'm sure that's out there somewhere.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And our Gen X trauma responses are to answer questions because that's what our parents taught us to do. Especially an adult asking you a question, you answer it.
Right.
And it's actually taken me a while to get out of that mindset. I had a therapist that actually told me, she's like, you don't have to answer right away when someone asks you a question. You can say, you know what?
Give me a minute.
I'll get back
Let
to
me
you.
get back to you on that.
Right. It might be 11 minutes, might be 11 years.
And I do that shit all the time simply because I might not have the answer.
Yep.
Or I might not be in the place to be able to answer. I might not be in the place to be able to answer intelligently or wholly, like informed, give you an informed answer.
Right. Yeah, like you gotta let it marinate or find out more, gather more information.
Exactly.
And so, now it's like I don't feel like I have to answer that question.
Did she say anything else?
No, that well, she has several videos where it's just like, here's a safety tip, here's a safety tip. So what I wanted to know is like, what are some of our safety tips or things that we do to make sure? Like I noticed, because I talked about it last night, your extra lock that you have on the door, and I was like, that is fucking cool.
And I don't have it on just that door, but I got it on my bedroom door as well.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm like, you have to break through both of these, and if you come through the first one, you're gonna get shot before you can even get to the second one.
Exactly.
You're gonna try the door, and I'm gonna hear bat, you hear bat. That's it.
So some of the things that I used to, especially in my old house, it was an old frame house, we used to have thumb locks to put on the windows. So it was, you have locks on windows, but there are thumb locks that you could, what is it called what is this, guys? Whenever it's kind of like those clamps,
you have
but
to make
screws.
Sounds in motion. That's how I understand.
But they would go above the window on the side, so it would make it harder and resistant to metal.
I know what you're talking about, yeah.
So that was one of the things, I mean, as far as security is concerned. I know for me, another safety thing is I used to put a broom handle in a sliding glass door so people couldn't force that shit open.
I got a metal bar that goes across that back patio door. So it's like if you try to come in, you can't come in through there. You're not going to be able to open that door.
Yep.
If it's unlocked, you won't be able to open that door. If that door is unlocked, you won't be able to open that door. If that door is unlocked, you won't be able to open that door.
It took me a while to get to that point.
Really?
I don't think I've ever had a scary enough thing happen to where I was concerned that those things would happen to me.
So, like, your husband is like walking safety,
and he has instilled that in me.
Thank you. My mother is walking safety.
Oh, okay.
Part of the reason that I sleep damn near fully clothed is because if some shit happens, I don't want to be titties slinging all over the place and ass out. And you understand what I'm saying? I don't want to distract the nigga that I'm trying to
shoot a motherfucker with my titties out.
I can, but that bullet casing that bullet casing is hot.
I remember we went to the range when we were shooting, and it came out. I had a scar on my chest from the bullet casing.
Exactly. Then bullet casings is hot. I'd like to be fully clothed and not worry about busting a cap in somebody's ass and burning myself with the bullet casings. So that is why I will be fully clothed. And so I sleep with like bra, panties, shirt, and like a bottom, like shorts or something like that. So that's what I sleep in. I know I know I can hop up and go to Mexico in that outfit, but nonetheless, I need to be clothed. I can't have my tits jingling all over the place. And this is one thing, and I know a lot of women do this, but one of my things is checking the car before I get in it.
Yes.
So and my windows are tinted, so I can't see in the back seat.
Because there's that urban legend about someone being in the back seat and popping up when you're driving down the road.
And you only need to hear it once. Right. I've been checking the back seat ever since.
Just a teeny tiny car, okay? So it's like I'll be able to see that shit by far. So the first thing I do is I open the back door so I can put my bag in there.
Right.
Even though usually I carry my bag like in the front right next to me, next to my side. Open in case some bullshit comes.
Pop off. You ready?
I'll be like, let me hold on. I'm gonna get you.
Just hold on. Time out.
Stop walking so fast. I got to get this. Hold on. Click. No. Oh shit. That's safety on. I mean, it's just all of that, right? So I normally like hit that back door real quick, just glance and close it, and then get in, which is the dumbest. I understand that, but nonetheless, I'm about to do that shit anyway. It don't matter none.
Oh, it's not dumb. And I've started locking the door as soon as I get in. And I never think about that. It was just one day I came out of the store and I just had this strong intuition that you need to lock these doors. Nothing happened, but my intuition was going, maybe me locking the doors is what kept something from. But I didn't see anything, but I just had...
You needed to.
Yes. So now it's kind of become habit. As soon as I get in, I close the door, I hit the lock button. After I check the back seat.
One of the things that I try to do also is actually pay attention to where I'm parked, so I'm not having to wander and search. Especially, I want to pay attention. Like, so that's why when we go to the concerts or whatever, if I'm driving, I'm like really particular about where I park because I want to be able to make a beeline for it.
Exactly.
I don't want to be wandering around lost and not be able to find my car.
Find your car.
Yeah, because that's almost like that's safety. If you get there, you can't tag me. That's it. I'm right there because I just think. When you wander, you're kind of losing track of what's going on around you because you're too busy, you're too pre-focused on where you're going. And then, someone can come up and get you.
Do you check behind your shower curtain for murder?
Not anymore.
I still do.
Really?
I farted.
Okay.
God damn, y'all.
Y'all, listen. It's nothing new.
She's going to laugh about it. She's just going to laugh about it. I'm sitting right here.
Look, I'm like, oh, you good, Andy? You good?
I said, God damn.
Oh, my God.
Okay, so...
Because we're 13, farting is so fucking funny to us.
The fact that I will tell you, hey, I farted.
Yeah.
That's like a little kid. Oh, I fought it.
I farted.
So to reel it back, Angie mentioned not having anything creepy happen to her. I did. And I was about 12, and my mom and dad used to go bowling all the fucking time. And since I'm an only child, I was home by myself. And I mean, I had my own phone line at that point in my life too.
Right.
So I was in my room and I was watching TV or whatever. I was not paying attention to the rest of the world. And my phone rings, and my friend from across the street called me and said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm watching TV." They said, "Did you know there's someone standing outside your window?"
Holy shit.
And I said, "No." And they said, he's bent over and he's in front of your window. And you remember what my house looked like.
Yeah.
So it was a house directly across the street. We were, the models were still the same. So her bedroom was exactly where my bedroom was, directly across the street.
I hope she wasn't fucking with you.
No. So I asked.
I've got literal goosebumps.
Because that wouldn't be funny. I'd be like, bitch,
funny.
I'll cut you if
I'll
you're
have
fucking with me.
to post on Facebook and see if she remembers, because I asked them to call 911. I called my mother at the bowling alley. And she sped home, like she got home faster than I don't know
she's
what.
ever gotten home.
But they arrested someone. He was outside the
Really?
window. And so after that, my mom and dad started planting cactus outside those windows.
and they were like,
wow.
what nobody's going to do
Yes.
is come lay up under these bushes.
Right. And see, back then, like I said, I was 12. We used to... that was when we played till the streetlights came on. That was when we just left the front door unlocked and people can come and go however they wanted to. So that was a fucking eye opener for me. Because and it was like a fucking movie. Because when she said, "Did you know there's a man standing outside your window?" I was like, "What the fuck?"
That's the part that's giving me goosebumps. It's just like, oh my God, that's the premise of a lot of horror.
Right, exactly.
Yes, I suspect it was a high school guy from the neighborhood, but they wouldn't tell us because it was an investigation type thing. And,
investigation pending,
and nothing happened, so it wasn't like we were pressing charges.
Okay, good.
Wow.
I on occasion I run an Airbnb, and when I'm at this Airbnb, the house that I stay in, 2 men live there, and they basically love to keep every window open, every one of them.
It must be nice being a dude.
And the thing is that the privacy fence in the backyard is high, but not high enough for people to not peek over the top and be like, "Hey, are you naked in there?" or whatever the fuck, right?
Right.
And
what you got going on in
exactly what you doing? And I hate that because when I lived there before, every morning I'd come and I'd open the windows, let all the sunshine in, I'd leave for the day. And it was what it was. And we have security in that particular house. And then I would go home, and then when the sun set, all the windows would close.
Right.
But since I don't live there anymore, the guys like to have the windows open and to stay open. And I'm like, and so when they go out of town and I'm running the Airbnb, I'm like, y'all, it's different for y'all. Y'all are 2 men, and that might not be a concern that you have to leave the windows open and all of this, that, and the other. But my entire life, I've been taught, close those motherfucking windows because you are a woman,
right?
And we have to worry about murder.
Because murder,
right? Because murder. And so it's like, and so I go and I try to, and what they've done is they've tied the latches, or not the latches, the strings that let the shades down. So they've tied them so that it's up on towards the top so that you can't close them.
Oh God.
And I'm like, guys, y'all make me feel bad, but I'm gonna be untying these motherfuckers every time y'all go out of town, because the fact is that I can't be out here with my titties out.
I mean, you could.
I mean, they got cameras in the house, so I don't want to be out there with my titties out.
I know you're not a fan of the titty out life. Yeah. There are parts of it that's pretty good.
Wait, and then when I've had one of them tell me, "Oh, I saw that you did such and such and so, and you went out with the dog," and blah, blah, and I'm like,
"Stop looking at me!
You spying on me, nigga?" Right? Like, but even if they were, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
I do not care.
A fuck.
I'm like, this half my house as far as I'm concerned. It's a quarter or 1/3 my house anyway. So, you know, but yeah, but no, they don't worry about that stuff. But I, on the other hand, you know, it makes me very nervous to have all of those windows open.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I resent is that I actually like walking and listening to my music, just kind of strolling or listening to a podcast.
And to not be aware, just to be able to be into the music.
Well, it gets so hot here. But when it's hot, it cools off at night. Sometimes it's cool enough. I resent that I can't walk at night.
Yeah.
I resent that because it would be perfect.
For a variety of reasons, especially in Texas.
And I just, you know, and it's like, I'm just so mad about it.
And see, you're saying to walk at night, but I'm talking about vigilancy.
Oh, yeah, just during the day. I can't just lose myself in my music.
Right.
I have to be ever vigilant. And I have ADHD. That shit is hard.
Right.
I can't do that.
And it's exhausting.
It is.
It is.
And it takes the joy out of just being able to have
be
that
in the
stroll.
moment.
Yeah.
Right. And that's y'all are funny because, so for the listeners, every time we go out, they already know automatically to sit with their back to the door, and my ass is going to sit facing the door, and my shit is going to be, you know, my bag is going to be to my left, where somebody, you know, it's going to be closest to the wall or something to that effect. And they know to let me watch the door because they know I'll be watching that motherfucker like
I absolutely don't want the responsibility. And so I just keep looking at her face. So if she stops talking in mid-conversation, I just put my hand on my purse and I know where the exit is. And I'm like, I'm following your lead.
See, because if I was the one looking at it, I could be reacting to so many different things that y'all wouldn't know what the fuck is going on.
We'd be running up out that booth every 10 minutes. Like what?
We'll be like, why are you running?
She spilled the water.
And I'd be like, grab Andi.
She brought out the wrong appetizers. God damn.
And you're yelling down to say, Angela, come back. Come back. It was just appetizer.
Speaking of which, who had that really good calamari? Was it that one place?
It was the one in Plano that we went to, I think, right? No. Wait. I'm lying.
I feel like it was the one that
we went to see New Jack City.
No. Oh, did they have good calamari too?
I didn't have any.
It was the big, thick calamari.
I think you're right.
It was the Italian place. You had the lobster ravioli.
But there was one place that we went to that had this big, thick calamari that was so good. And I feel like it was that one seafood spot where it had all the fried stuff. It was game day. It was a game day of some sort because there were people at the end of the that were at the bar at the end of the thing, and they were outside being loud.
Yes, it was like Lower Greenville
area.
Oh yeah, because I was like, what are they all doing outside?
Yes, exactly.
But we didn't like the other stuff that was there.
No, we didn't.
No, I don't. I think we left there not impressed. So
okay, so let's
I
not
don't
do
even
that,
remember what I had.
because I'm hungry, and so calamari.
She's planning lunch already. Just
even though we might not be able to make it because we got someplace to be at 5.
Oh fuck yeah, we do.
It's okay to go.
Right.
Anywho, do we have anything else to talk about?
No, that was it. Just wanted to.
All right.
Some safety tips.
Can I just touch on something real quick just to get your feedback on it?
Yes.
Have y'all seen the video of the girl who ordered an eggs Benedict and was demanding for it to come back because one of the eggs had slid off and it wasn't presented aesthetically pleasing for her?
Yes, I did.
You told me about that, and it pissed me off.
What is wrong with? I mean, our people are built different now. Like,
because it wasn't aesthetically pleasing, but she was also a food blogger, so she was going to like take pictures of it and
the whole
stuff like
thing
that
coming to her,
right? And I'm like, girl, are you paid for this, or are you just doing you understand what I'm saying? You have to basically crawl before you can walk, exactly. Right? So I'm thinking, are you at the crawling stages of this thing, and that's why you're being a dick? Because what that would get is some piss in your hollandaise sauce.
Right. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I didn't see it, so I'm assuming she was being an utter bitch about it.
Because she was like, can I speak to your manager? Can you just remake this because the egg slid off? And they're like, well, you could put it back on there. Right. And she's like, but if it breaks, then, and she was just really, and then she was like threatening to leave and just all this kind of stuff. And she just had it to be, she wanted it absolutely perfect for her
I would
video.
have been like, you're going to have to leave, ma'am, and I'll be more than happy to take care of this whole bill. Get the fuck on out of here.
I wish that my life was full of problems like that.
I hate people like
Jesus.
that. Mm-mm. I really, really do. You are going into a place that is during regular service hours, ordering regular ass food. You are nobody, and you're going to sit up there and try to play that little privilege card with me. The way that I would have been wrong. Thank you. The way that I would have been like, ma'am, you can go somewhere else with that shit because we're not playing with you.
Right. So I brought that up so Tony can do something during a meal next time we go out.
Because I never would though. I never would. No. I'd be like, fuck, I was going to take a picture of that. Let me see if I can get it back. I would have actually done exactly that.
That's what I would have done too. I was going to take a fork and spoon. It's like, okay, we can fix it like
it would never occur to me to send it back.
Or I would change the angle of the picture where I could only have the one egg in it.
Or something.
Because I'm a creative bitch. I can do that.
Thank you. Or just be like, oh, damn. Well, next time.
Right.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I'll come back next time, and then I'll tell them, hey, I'm going to take a picture of it, so can you make sure that it looks like amazing when it comes out?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
There's
a million different ways that you can handle these things, people. Like that bitch with the burger, and she slapped it on the thing, and she was mad because it had too much ketchup. There's a million different ways that you can handle situations. All it takes is a little emotional intelligence. We just talked about that last week. A little emotional intelligence. Just take a beat to think critically for a moment.
Check your fucking privilege.
Just check yourself, period. Yes, as Americans, we have lots of privilege in that we can just out here and be having food left and right and just be,
But as a white woman, she's probably never had to react any other way.
Oh, no, not this one.
Okay. That's not a white woman.
Now I want to punch her in the throat.
Right.
Because now you're embarrassing me. I mean, I don't know what she is, but she ain't white.
She's not. Wasn't say, and it just fell off of the one.
Yeah,
I would have only taken a picture of the one and kept the fucking party going.
And she couldn't put that back on.
No, because she didn't want it to break.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Yeah, so humans. Yes, absolutely. So I just wanted to get your 2 cents on that.
Fuck that hoe ass bitch.
I remember telling you guys it had me in a really fucking bad mood after I watched it because I'm like, I can't believe these poor servers don't get paid enough as it is.
They really don't.
They literally make $2.35 an hour,
and this shit's still gonna taste the same.
35. It used to be $2.15.
I
Really?
think it's $2.15.
I think it's still $2.15. Yeah, I know it's still. Yeah, something like right ridiculous. Around $2. Yeah.
But see, you can tell by her, she has her own version of privilege. So regardless of race, it's first world problem, and she needs to get over it.
I'm definitely not going to do any of what she would have asked me to do. I'd been like, either you going to eat that shit or you going to get the fuck up out of here.
And that's what they basically said, is they wanted her to leave. So at the end of it, so
good.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad.
So that I had to get Gabby with that for a minute.
Good job. Nice. Good job. And with that, Angela, go ahead on and tell these niggas where they can find us.
All right, you hoes can find us at multiplegaboons.com. There's a link that says check us out on social media. Click that and check us out on social media. It's a link tree. And you can email us. We really do want to hear from you guys. So email us at mgwlistener@gmail.com. And, I don't know, maybe you get some crystals, maybe not. We'll see.
Or
We're
something.
still working on some shit. Though.
Thank you. We out
But
here.
we love y'all, and we want to we want to give you things.
But you triggering us. And we
Right.
can't give you nothing.
Got us over here like, are they going to email us?
I want to give you the world.
I'm just trying to love you.
I thought we had a connection.
I just want to love you. I don't know. I know the words are wrong, but nonetheless,
Right.
regardless.
I know the tune, and that was good enough for me.
Okay. So, anywho, I have been your host, Tony.
I'm Angie.
I'm Andi.
And we will see you motherfuckers later. Bye.
Bye, bitches.
Ma'am, see, we were about to make it a clean break until you get to huffing and puffing in the goddamn